Welcome students. In this class we will be learning about important method which is called as typeof. Now why is this method important? Because with this method you will be able to find out the exact data type that is permitted by the variable, or by this method we will be able to find what sort of variables are accepting what sort of values. Now why is it of much importance is because if you have codes which are running to several lines, and I would say hundreds of lines, or even sometimes it can go even to thousands of lines, and that time certain variables will play a very important role in receiving inputs from the user. Now in scenarios such as that, say for example you are taking this project from someone else and you are now handling this project, and you would want to make some changes to the received input. In cases like that, you would want to know what sort of constants that can be sent in through this variable, or what sort of constants that this variable in question houses. So in scenarios such as these, typeof function or typeof method comes in very much handy. So having mentioned that, this is the general syntax that we would be using in this case. So probably I will start off with the usual exclamatory mark, so that, and then followed by the tab sign, so that we can get a boilerplate. So I will change the title. So in this example we will see the type of method. So if you want, probably I will give a link rel is equal to style sheet, and type is equal to text slash css, and then href is equal to css slash. So this is the style sheet we are using. And now what I will do is I will start off with this script, and I want to say the foremost letter. Let me just start off with the variable x is equal to 21, and variable y is equal to say 24 or 234 3321, and then I will want to add variable x with y and get it printed. So document.write of z. That's fine. Now the question comes is, I would also want to know the type of variable that are in place. So first I will say type of x. I want to know what sort of data that x is taking in, and followed by what sort of data that y is taking in, and followed by what sort of output that z is giving us. So I can save this and go back to the browser and refresh it. So you can see that these are the numbers. So all of these things are number, and this is the output, right? But probably maybe I don't have to print this up, so I will comment these things. So first I will show you the output for x. So I'm going to refresh this. When I refresh this, it's a number. The data type allowed for x is number. So I have that in mind. So similarly, if I were to comment this and make this alive, the same thing would come up. So I don't want to do that. Probably I will take this off and show you the output. Okay, so it's number. That's fine. So now let me go back to the code. So from here, what is the understanding? The understanding is, if you are receiving input from the user, then that input has to be a number quantity given by the user. The user is not permitted to give any strings and so on, whether it can be string or boolean and things like that. Now instead of x, if I were to make this as a name, this is a string constant, so I'm saving it. I'm going to make this as I'm going to remove the comment from that, and then I will find out what happens. So probably I can comment this also, so that you are in a position to know what type of data is this X holding. So I'm going back here, I'm refreshing it. Clearly it says string. So the data that X is holding is a string data type. So that is the understanding you should get. Now moving on, imagine if I were to say Z is equal to true. Now this is a Boolean data type. So let me comment this off and make this live and save it and go back. So now you see that Boolean. So Boolean takes either true or false. Only two of these values are permitted. So now we have seen number data type. We have learned how to find the data type for X, which is string, and also for Boolean. Now what if you want to place a string? So if you want to place a string or two strings together, or a number and a string, this is a symbol that you need to use. This is called the concatenation symbol. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the concatenation symbol. Probably I'll place a space there and then place a dollar. Now I can print this off. So I'm going to print this document of Y that is printed, and I want to just take this Z off. Instead of Z, I want to have Y. Now initially Y was a number. Now if you were to save it and go back and refresh it, you'll see that the number followed by the dollar is printed, but we have a data type string. Probably what I can do is I can comment this off so that you will know what type of data that Y is holding. Y was given a number, and to this number we concatenated a dollar. Because of that, the initial data type number has now been changed to string. So if I were to save it and go back and run it, you see that this is what I get, string. Okay, so the next thing is, in this illustration we have seen how exactly a number gets converted to a string. Now imagine I want to give another variable, say P. Variable P is equal to D6. Now what do you think if I were to get the type of P? Now let me just comment this off. Now I want to get the type document.write. So if I were to go and print this, it says string. Yes, that is string indeed. So now, is it possible for us to add P plus 1? Is it possible? Because this is a string, and to this string I'm adding 1. Is it possible for me to do that? And let me actually get it printed. Let me just say document dot write of D. Do you think we'll get the output? Let's see it. I'm going to the page and refreshing it. It says 561 and it is a string. So what exactly is happening here? So when I say 561 plus 1, I wanted to get 57, but the output is giving me 561. So remember, whenever you have a string and to that string you place a concatenation sign and then followed by a number. In this case it was a number followed by the string, but in this situation it is actually a string followed by a number. In either of these situations, the entire quantity is, when I say quantity I mean this, is treated as a string. So that is the reason the output is displayed as 561 string. Why string? That is the type of the data that we have in the variable T, right? Because that is the data that we have stored in P. Now if I want to say what is the type of T and save it, now you will be amazed that the output is not going to change in any way. See that? There is not going to be any change at all. because P is a string and T is made to be a string because of the expression that we have placed inside T. Now the much important question to ask here is, what should I do to get 57? Simple. What you need to do is you need to go over here and simply place a plus sign there. That's all you need to do. Now the result is going to be different. This is a string. Now this string, because you have placed this plus, is now changed into one numeric quantity. I'm going over here, I'm refreshing it. You see that? 57. I hope you understood this important point. If you want to convert a string into a number, all you need to do is place a positive sign before the string, and instantaneously this entire quantity would be converted into a number, and you can perform whatever operation you want. This is plus 1. Say I want to just multiply this by 21 and get the result. So I'm saving it. So let's go back and refresh it. You see that? That's the quantity. And simple as that. So we will move on to the next illustration. Another way to convert numbers to strings and strings to numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment all of these. I've already taught you how to use multiple line comment, but I'm using here single line comments. Okay, so let us assume that I've got a variable. Say variable, say age is equal to say 21, and I want to have an output like this: document.write, stating that the age of this painting is, so I want to place this concatenation. Will this work? Now I wanted to state that the age of this painting is 211 years, but my question is, what would happen if I were to get this printed? Let's go and check that out. This age of this painting is 211 years. Okay, that's fine. Actually concatenating it. Now instead of doing all of this, so in this case this numeric quantity is converted into string. I want to have a better way to represent these things. Now the better way would be, now in this case I want to say document.write type of age, and first let me show it to you. Type of age is number, right? Now if you want to convert this into a string, all you need to say is string. You can use the word toString of age, and then let's see the type now. So in this case I'm just changing it to the string. You see that? So this is another way. Now instead of saying toString, I'm just going to say string. I'm saving it, and I want to find out if this age, which is number, is converted into a string. So let me go back, refresh it. So that also works. Now if in case I am giving this in quotes, so the first example I have shown you how to convert a number into a string. Now I want to convert this string into a number. Let's see the output. You see that? I'm getting number. So these are some of the methods by which you can convert number to string and string to number.